Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Muhammad Asyraf Haikal bin Zainal Abidin. My matric number is 056813. In this video, I'll be presenting my part regarding the Women Rights Act 2022, which has been drafted by my group members and I as the task assigned to us previously. This act has a total of 26 sections consisting the authority and the punishment. This act is about any action towards women that relating to criminal offences and to provide for the enforcement of maintenance orders. The reason we chose women's rights to be the main topic to draft an act is because my group and I intended to address our concern towards women who have been the victim of various types of violence which this immoral act should be concerned under our law in Malaysia. This could relate with sociological jurisprudence, one of the Western jurisprudence, where the theory is of Emil Durkheim give primacy to society rather than to individuals. He regards society as an independent entity holding power over individual. He concerns about cohesion and solidarity of society. So now I proceed with the section 10, 11 and 12 of Women Rights Act 2022. This section is about sexual harassment. Generally, sexual harassment is defined as an unwelcome sexual behavior that is offensive, humiliating or intimidating. It could be in a form of written, verbal or physical and could happen physically or virtually. Section 10 of Women Rights Act 2022 stated that any person who sexually harassed a woman by making an unwanted sexual advance or an unwanted request for sexual favor, or making a derogatory or sexually suggestive statement, or making a sexually suggestive gesture, then shall be punished with the imprisonment may extend to 7 years or fine or both. Next, Section 11 provided that whoever causes or likely to cause mental or emotional suffering of any woman who is sexually harassed subjected to provision 1 of subsection 1 shall be punished with the imprisonment may extend to 3 years or fine or both. And next, the section 12 stated that any woman who is sexually harassed subjected to provisions of subsection 1 may be subjected to treatment or psychological therapy. Next, I will proceed by giving an explanation in the context of jurisprudence. Basically, there are two types of jurisprudence, which are Western and Islamic jurisprudence. In the explanation of Western jurisprudence, I will refer to the natural law. In natural law, Aquinas, one of the scholars, opined that law is defined as an ordinance of reason for the common good made by him who has the care of the community promulgated. According to Aquinas, the human's role as the recipient of the natural law, as natural law contain principles of practical rationality, those principles by which human action is to be judged as reasonable or unreasonable. He also emphasized that fundamental idea of natural law is a participation in the internal law, in which all creation is ordered to follow the rational plan accordingly. The natural law is the way of human being as a part of the internal law. According to the idea of good is to be done and evil avoided, sexual harassment is against the natural law which violates one's right to life in the sense of its dignity and reputation has been violated by the other. Human being is created with the capability of good reasoning within its nature. The reason helps human to reveal natural law that are in line with nature and creation of humans such as self-preservation, marriage and family and desire to know God. Therefore, this theory of natural law has enlightened that humans could use their reasoning to refrain themselves from committing offense such as sexual harassment and the other offenses. In this theory also stated that natural law is unchangeable and applicable to all human beings. Even man-made law may vary in time and circumstances. Human law must be obeyed as long as it does not contradict with the natural law. Furthermore, I will explain about sexual harassment in the view of Islamic jurisprudence. In the contemporary Arabic term, sexual violence was known as at-taharruj al-jinsi. Etymologically, at-taharruj al-jinsi means committing to conflict al-tahyid, perpetuating the destroy al-ifsad, and creating the damage, hate and battle al-ijra. While terminologically can be defined as every sexual statement and action that were used to attack and disturb other people. The Quran prohibited sexual harassment both physically and non-physically. The Quran defines sexual harassment both physically and non-physically as arafat and fakhisha. According to the Quranic interpreters al-Mufassirin, term arafat mean al-ifhashi lil mar'a fil al-kalam, which means as nasty saying or statement to women that tend to sexuality. While fakhisha is almost similar with arafat, means vicious action and nasty statement that attack and degrade the humanity and woman's human dignity. The nasty statements and vicious actions that tend to sexuality, such as giving comments on women's body, such as sexy, war, and other body shaming actions that degrades women's body sovereignty. In a hadith, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, if someone's head among you is stabbed by the iron needle, it is better for you rather than groping a woman who is not his own wife. In another hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said, if you've weltered with the pig covered in mud and dirt, it's better for you rather than you lay on your shoulder to another woman's shoulder who is not your wife. Both of the hadiths affirm that sexual violence is strongly prohibited in Islam because it degrades the human dignity, whether it is the dignity of the perpetrator and furthermore the dignity of the victim. In conclusion, no one deserves to be sexually harassed. Everyone has the right to live their life in a safe environment that is free from harassment, bullying, discriminations, and violence. That's all from me. Thank you.